Ready?
Yes, Judge.
Did you say Olvera?
Or Galvan, I don't know which one you have them under.
It's not under Olvera. What was the other name? What was the other name?
Page 8.
It's Galvani. Sal Olvera Galvani.
Good morning, Mr. Galvan. You were charged with driving while intoxicated. You were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Do you understand? Are you sure, or would you?
He's just a little bit embarrassed of the situation, Judge, of being here for the first time.
Do you prefer a translator or?
Well, I understand what you just telling me, yes.
Okay. We are going to do probable cause. We need to know what happened in the case. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Okay. Ready?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. On April 27, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle going 74 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone via radar. He observed the vehicle stop beyond the designated stopping point at a red light and make a wide right turn. The law enforcement officer initiated a traffic stop and observed the defendant to be the sole occupant of the vehicle. The law enforcement officer observed watery, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. The defendant swayed while standing in place. The defendant's family showed up and stated they drove him home because he was drunk, and they found out he left again, so they went to the location of the stop. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was reported on the HGN, a 3 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant refused consent to provide a specimen, and a blood warrant was obtained and executed.
Any DWIs? Have a license?
He does have a license, John.
No prior DWIs, Your Honor. I'm running his license, although.
Mr. Galvan, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Hay suficiente causa para continuar con tu causa, ¿ok? No puedes tomar alcohol, illegal drogas, y te voy a hacer examen. Si tomas o si usas, te pongo en la cárcel. ¿Me entiendes? Tú tienes un abogado, no tienes que venir a la corte hasta que él te dice. Pero si él me dice que no puede contactar y tienes problemas, voy a revocar la fianza. ¿Me entiendes? Tú no puedes manejar si no tienes una licencia y también aseguranza en tu nombre. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
So for now, we will have you sign a reset. Vas a ir con Roxanne de Pretrial Services y ya te puedes ir.
Y no se tiene que presentar para próximas cortes.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
All right, Judge, next is page 3, Castillo. Come on up.
Está right here. I just not right here. And he was.
Sorry, that's in
Yeah, time first and then he'll sit down and then.
Did you say Castillo?
Yes, Judge, page 3.
Jose Castillo, come up.
Diana?
Do you have an arraignment, counsel? Do you have an arraignment?
No.
No, okay, I see. I'll hit you up next, okay? You are Joe Castillo, is it Jose Castillo? Jose Castillo, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 23rd, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle going 77 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone via radar detection and weave in and out of lanes around 4 vehicles, nearly causing a crash. The law enforcement officer briefly lost sight of the vehicle, but found the vehicle parked sideways in a driveway close by. The defendant was still inside the vehicle and admitted to being the driver, but stated he was only going 60 miles per hour.
Mr. Castillo, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. You run his license, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand? That is a condition of your bond. I'm now also ordering you not to drive in a reckless manner, not to participate in any street takeovers, racing, anything of this nature. And if I find you do, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
It's out of the way, Your Honor.
How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living? Okay. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? You want a court-appointed lawyer?
I'm gonna request a attorney.
Okay. I need you to fill out an application for me. Deputy Miranda is going to give an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign all our bond conditions. You understand? Come on. You mind filing those conditions, please?
Yes, Your Honor. That'd be no reckless driving and no driving.
Same
without
as-
a valid license.
And then, no racing, street takeovers, donuts.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Judge, next is page 27, loyalty.
Hold on a second. I have, ready?
I found him, yes.
Is it an arraignment?
It's an arraignment.
Last name?
Gallegos.
Page 7.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't even have the
Amber.
checked in.
There is also a co-defendant in this case.
Really?
Oh,
It's a DWI.
no. Sorry,
Oh,
you're right.
okay.
Okay, I thought I, come up.
Oh, that's not mine. I'm over here.
So, who's yours?
He's mine.
All right, do me a favor, have a seat for me right now, we'll call you right back.
This one.
All right, stand.
You are on bond for DWI and you've now picked up a new DWI. Sir. You were charged again. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 24th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a crash. The law enforcement officers spoke with a complaining witness who stated he had gone to the bathroom and heard the defendant crash into the bus. The complaining witness was the bus driver. The complaining witness estimated the damages to be $1,000. Another witness saw the defendant strike the bus, get stuck between the bus and another vehicle, and then exit the driver's side door and try to push the vehicle out. The witness stated after another individual told the defendant they were calling the police, the defendant fled. Another law enforcement officer was alerted to the incident and found the defendant who matched the description given. A witness was able to identify the defendant as the individual driving the vehicle that struck the bus. Another law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant who stated he was coming from an Astros game where he drank. The law enforcement officer observed a moderate odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and profuse sweat from the defendant. The defendant refused to cooperate on standard field sobriety tests. The defendant refused to provide a specimen. A blood warrant was obtained and executed.
Mr. Gallegos, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive at all. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
On one ankle, I'm going to put a scram monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. On your other ankle, you will get a GPS monitor and I'm giving you a curfew because I don't want you out in the middle of the night. And if I find that you're out, I will revoke your bond and make it extremely high. He's on bond for this DWI. I'm revoking his bond. You're going to jail today.
Right now?
Right now.
Okay, as far as the monitors, can we
So-
waive the fees?
Absolutely, of
Okay.
course.
Can you get my stuff to my mom?
Yes.
So these are conditions. We'll have him sign now. The GPS monitor prior to release.
Are you setting the bond to him?
Of course. Mr. Gallegos, I want you to understand something. This is an affidavit that you're going to sign to me, that you're going to promise to me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If Jesus comes from heaven and needed to ride to church, you drive. I can have a contempt hearing. you can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I am now also sending notice to DPS that I'm placing a restriction on, you're not allowed to drive, but I'm placing an additional restriction on your license that you are not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. This notice is sent to DPS so that every single officer in the state knows that if you are in a vehicle driving, they pull you over, you don't have an interlock, they will take you to jail. Do you understand? As it stands, you are not allowed to drive for any reason. Okay, we'll have him sign this. We'll put him in back. I'll set the bond and then,
Take my
Cards
Yeah,
about,
and-
look, I asked you to start moving around, we'll handle this when I can get them.
All right, Judge.
get whatever date you want on the new cases.
Okay.
When he posts bond on the, old case, feel free to get in touch with the, and then you can put the date for whatever. Yeah,
What are
He-
you setting the bond at? I'll tell it.
5,001.
5,001.
Yeah.
Both cases or just legal?
He just, no. The two new ones, I'm not gonna touch. I'm gonna leave it as is. He's made a bond on those cases, so we're only gonna do the old DWI, 5,001. Actually, we're gonna need, he signed conditions now, so when he gets out, he'll
We'll
have,
have those.
yeah,
Okay.
because we'll give him a copy of the conditions now.
Okay,
So they just feel free to let her, whatever date you get,
okay.
after he
And then
gets out,
once
just
it's
get, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Judge, next is page 20. Mendoza, come on up.
Hi.
Done papers, right?
Tuesday, the 6th.
Mhm.
Okay.
What was the last name again?
Mendoza?
You are Alexa Mendoza. Miss Mendoza, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 23rd, 2025, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a traffic collision in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle on the fixed rail tracks impaled to the LRV. The law enforcement officer opened the door to check on the defendant, the sole occupant of the vehicle, and observed the defendant to be impaired. The law enforcement officer observed glossy eyes and slurred speech, and the defendant stated she left a bar where she had 8 to 10 drinks of tequila and was on the way to a concert. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was reported on the HGN. The law enforcement officer notes that the defendant threw up during the HGN. The walk and turn was a 4 out of 8, and the one leg stand was a 3 out of 4. The defendant was ID'd by her Texas driver's license, and the defendant consented to a breath test yielding a .137 and a .123.
Any prior DWIs,
No, Your Honor.
license?
Check that.
Ms. Mendoza, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. You will be randomly tested. If you test positive, your bond will be revoked. You'll go into custody. You understand?
Yes.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. As long as you have those, you may continue to drive. Just don't use. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
It is awful, Your Honor.
Great. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but you must stay in touch with them and they'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, we'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Roxanne for your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Judge, page 27. Loyalty, come on up. All right.
Good morning, Mr. Royalty.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 24th, 2025, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to a Shell gas station in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the motor vehicle to have crash damaged and to be disabled and inoperable. The law enforcement officer observed the defendant sitting in the driver's seat. The law enforcement officer observed constricted pupils, slow speech, and unsteady balance. The defendant stated that he was driving his vehicle before the accident and that he does not know what he wrecked into. The defendant stated he did not know where he was coming from before the crash. The defendant stated he consumed one alcoholic beverage. He also stated that he inhaled nitrous oxide approximately 20 minutes before the crash. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 0 out of 6 was recorded on the HGN, a 3 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The law enforcement officer observed an empty bottle of vodka on the driver's side floorboard, an empty vodka bottle inside the center console, and a half-empty beer in the back seat. The law enforcement officer observed 3.3 liters of space gas containers of nitrous oxide and 14 1-liter nitrous oxide containers. The defendant is a registered owner of the motor vehicle. The defendant agreed to a breath test strip. However, the law enforcement officer notes that there was an interferent error and the breath test was unable to be collected. The law enforcement officer called for a drug recognition expert who completed an evaluation. The drug recognition expert stated the defendant is under the influence of cannabis and is unable to operate a motor vehicle safely. The defendant consented to a blood test and a sample was collected.
Okay. Mr. Royalty, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication, and that includes nitrous oxide, whippets, anything of this nature. Do you understand? If I find that you use, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail, no more PR bonds. Any priority to PIs?
No priority to
License?
eligible.
Okay, you may continue to drive as long as you have a license and liability insurance in your name. If you don't have either, then you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Okay, I can have you fill out an application. We'll take a look to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have at the bank, what you do for a living, what kind of car you drive, how much money you have coming in, and I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. Deputy Miranda is going to give you the application. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box, sir. Sir, please.
Judge, that's it for now.
Okay. Mark Metz.
All right, bye.
What's the deal, Pickle?
We are here on Vanessa Torres. It's number the VA.
Torres is the last name? Okay.
We're waiting on some medical reports from the hospital, but that's not gonna, I don't think, make or break the case. He said that he just made an offer.
Are you happy?
The reset.
Are you happy with the offer?
I haven't even seen the offer. He just.
I put it
told
in
me
yesterday. It was a deferred, a classic, the T-Raz deferred.
So I just want some time to talk to him, and.
You're at 190 days old though, so it's time to make a decision. I'll give you a couple weeks, but
Yeah, that's.
your client's got to be here within the next 2 weeks to decide what we need to do. Okay? Okay, thanks, Mark, man. Hi, Sarah, you ready?
Good morning.
Hi.
I'm here for Mr. Torres.
Haven't.
So I think there was confusion. No, I approached yesterday to move his EVR to today, and I never took to think about it, and that's my mistake. So it's off docket. So I have the cause number if you'd like. 2509942. I also talked to the state because we were set for today anyway about the DWI application mitigation packet, and we've not heard back yet. So
Where is he?
right there.
Come up, Mr. Torres.
He's from the live stream out for his approach.
I'm just sending him for a drug test. I'm
Oh,
sending you for a drug test. The next time you fail to test, you will go to jail. Do you understand me? Okay, take a seat for me. Okay, we'll let you know the results.
okay. So we just sit on the, wait for the
He needs
reset.
to come back.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
I need your. Hold on, I might. Hey, Sarah, can you leave me your cell phone and then I can
Sure.
text you that way you don't have to
I'm
wait?
happy to stay. That's okay.
No. Because you can always zoom in. You know?
Okay.
It's silly for you to wait. Okay, thanks. And then I'll let you know when you're back. Okay, counsel, come on. Yes, sir.
Richard Lott here for Ramon Jesus Delgado, Sears. RES.
I see it. Okay. Where are we?
I believe they, Katie is looking for a reset. They need to talk to a witness.
It's 190 days old. I mean, Cole, where are we at?
Judge, I've been trying to get in contact with the material witness that was very adamant on scene with ID, yet to be successful in getting in contact with her.
Okay, I'll give you one final week. That's it. It's 190 days old now. If you don't have it in a week, then move forward without the witness.
Absolutely. Thank
Okay,
you.
got it. Okay, take care. Mr. Sims,
Judge, I have a plea on Josue Bueno.
okay, you mind bringing him up?
Now, before we set.
Morning, Mr. Bueno. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge is going on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. Next time you get pulled over, if you have any kind of funky smell, it's probably not going to go well for you because the first thing officers do, they look at your record. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty, you can never change it. So you didn't want to do PTI.
Judge, we discussed it and he couldn't get the character letters together and
It's a damn shame, Mr. Bueno, because I'm going to tell you, you had the ability to get this thing dismissed. Now you're pleading guilty to this. One day you're going to look back and say, why didn't I take the time to get it done? This will affect you for the rest of your life.
It's possible.
No, you're now at 200 days. You've done nothing. No, you've had plenty of time to get it done, not on the day of when you're set to plead. The other thing is this, Mr. Bueno, I'm going to tell you that if you come back here with another DWI, it is a minimum of 30 days in jail for anything that you pick up. Not only that, if you continue to endanger the community, a second DWI, it's a $6,000 surcharge. So get ready. If you want to get lit, find another way, Uber, Lyft, whatever it may be. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find you guilty. I will send it to you to the agreement. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days, sir. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck.
Would you be willing to waive the DPS fine?
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Kim.
Judge,
Hey.
be very, very quick. Stacy's on Zoom.
Let me. Hi, Stacy.
Good morning, Judge.
Maybe just ahead of time. It's a pre-signed waiver, Judge. She already has a copy. I sent her by email.
Got it. Okay.
It's only because he was
Here now.
he's in the holdover. Yes, Judge.
Have you explained this to him?
So I explained it last time, Your Honor. I tried calling the holdover today because we were under the understanding that he had signed a waiver aside from that one. But if he can step out so he can understand what's going, because I know last time he was.
Please. Do you know the name that you're going? Okay.
Galvani? Was there a CI auditor?
Correct.
Morning, Mr. Groves.
Morning.
I'm bringing you out just to give you an update of what's going on with your case. You were wanted out of the state of Ohio for a probation violation for I'm assuming that's weapons under disability.
Yes, I'm not familiar with the charge. I don't know what the Texas equivalent is.
The thing is this, Mr. Groves, is that when you sign for probation, no matter where you are, you need to read the fine print. Many times when you sign, you waive extradition by virtue of signing the agreement by saying, hey, if I ever take off, I will refuse to fight extradition. And that's what's happening now. So even if I wanted to give you a bond so you could go turn yourself into Ohio, I can't because you have already waived by virtue of signing for the probation. You understand? So that means that we give the demanding jurisdiction, which is Ohio here, 30 days to come get you. Okay? Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you, Your Honor. May be excused.
Thanks, Ms. Morgan. Hi.
I'm here for Francisco Hernandez.
Okay.
He's here for a bond violation.
Okay, come up, Mr. Hernandez. It's Hernandez or Hernandez?
Mr.
Roxanne, what the
Presumptive positive for THC.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. I'm giving you a pass for 50 days from the time that we ordered you not to use. Don't use. Do you understand? So we ordered him not to use when? He's still testing positive. We ordered him not to use in January.
He tested positive on April 7th, Judge, or not, on April 14th, rather.
Okay, but he's still testing positive. He's still using when we ordered him not to use.
Yes, Judge, but I understand that THC can take up to 30 days to work out of urine, so there's no evidence that he's been using beyond the
I ordered him not, let me see, hold on. I ordered him not to use in January. We are now,
Yes, Judge, but you've already addressed his drug use that resulted in the positive result on the April 14th drug test. You addressed that by chastising him in court and issuing several additional bond conditions. There's been no evidence that there's been any additional drug use for the court to address.
if I tested him in early January, then I'm gonna have an issue. But if it's the first time I tested him was in April, then I'm gonna give him the 50 days from the first time that we tested. But if I tested him early on and he tested positive and I admonished him not to use and he's still testing positive, I'm gonna have an issue. I don't remember when the first time we tested him, so I'm gonna ask her. Roxanne, on Mr. Hernandez, when was the first time we tested him, please?
When he first tested positive for THC?
Yeah, when did we first test him?
Oh, it was March 11th of this year.
So March 11th was the first test and that was positive for,
Negative.
that was negative.
Yes, it was negative. And then on April
7th is when he was a no-show, and on April 14th, it was confirmed by last that he was positive.
No, you're using. I'm sorry. I'm revoking your bond. You're going into custody.
I could just ask the court to Mr. Hernandez's mother is out in the hallway. I'm certain that she's going to pay whatever the bond is. This, revoking the bond here will only have the effect of punishing, his mother, who will have to pay the bond. And I'd also just ask the judge, you to consider that I understand that there may be evidence that he's used since he was ordered to not use. I understand that. But there's no evidence that he's using now or that he has used in the more than 2 weeks since the prior drug test.
We just tested him yesterday. He tested positive. He tested positive a week ago. I've ordered him not to use. I mean, if I don't, then I'm rewarding him for his behavior, Mr. Schlossberg. That doesn't make any sense. You know, I understand that it's punishing mom. These are the things that you need to consider when you're out there. I told you not to use, and you're now using. Goes with you. I'm sorry, Mr. Schlossberg. I can't just continue to let people go.
Judge, the drug test yesterday, it came back positive for THC because it was within 14 days of the previous drug test on the 14th.
He tested negative the first time we tested him, and now he tested positive for using marijuana. That's it. There's no, I mean, really. If I don't, I'm enabling the behavior, and that's it.
Yes, sir. Maybe excuse me.
Please.
Judge, we have an arraignment that showed up a little late. Are you ready?
5001. Yeah, let's do it.
Page 15, Hines, come on up.
Good morning, Miss Hines.
Good morning.
Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sorry, I'm having trouble loading it. Okay, here we go. On April 23rd, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a suicide. Upon arrival, law enforcement officers found the defendant in the driver's seat of a U-Haul truck, slumped over the steering wheel. The law enforcement officer observed bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and unbalance from the defendant. The passenger, the co-defendant, was detained and a crack pipe fell out of the co-defendant's pocket. The law enforcement officers found foil with narcotics residue on the passenger seat of the vehicle. The defendant admitted to taking Xanax that morning, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 6 out of 6 was recorded on the HGN, a 2 out of 8 on the walk and turn, a 0 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to a blood test. A wheel witness stated they saw the U-Haul in motion, pull into the driveway of a house across the street, and then walked over to the U-Haul and saw the defendant in the driver's seat.
You said that you said they did field sobriety tests? They take them to the station? What?
Yes, Your Honor. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. 6 out of 6 on the HGN, 2 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 0 out of 4 on the one-legged stand.
Blood test, breath test?
It was a blood, consensual blood test.
Any prior to the eye?
No, Your Honor.
Miss Hines, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I don't know if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol. Now is the time for you to address it, because I'm telling you, if it becomes a problem while you're on bond, I'm going to address it for you. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you not to use alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to test you, and I'm going to test you probably within a week. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do not use. If you have a problem, now is the time for you to do whatever you need to do to address it. You have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I need you to fill out an application for me, and I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. I will have you go, oh, you said she has a valid license?
It is eligible.
Okay, you're also not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name, and that is also a condition of your bond. You understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. Deputy Miranda is gonna give you an application. I need you to fill it out for me. When you're done, you can bring it back to us and we'll take a look. Please. Roxanne, testing in a week, please. Mr. Alford, I saw your gentleman.
Yeah, I realized this morning I didn't CC everybody. I just sent you. It's Roger Byrne for the clerk as well. It's 2533384.
Did you get one done?
No, I just got the email yesterday. He's the old guy in Sarasota.
I remember.
Can I have him do that and send it to you from Florida?
ASAP.
You got it.
Like, the Quest diagnostic though, so we know it's legitimate.
West Diabetes.
Right.
Do that and for the
So
Monday
just,
setting, you want me to push that back a little bit? If he fails, bring him in for bond forfeiture or what would you like?
right, so have him get it done today,
Yes.
then just bring us the result as soon as you can.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. Hopefully it's negative and then we'll just continue supervision. If it's dirty, then I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to bring him here. So,
This is, I'm getting working. Guys.
yeah, I got it.
Done while he's over there, and then if we need
I
to.
understand. Okay,
So this bond forfeiture setting on Monday, can I move that a few days from,
I'm okay with that.
thank you, back?
Just let Victoria know.
Great.
But it has to be this week though, and I wanted to test today.
Okay, I'll do, as soon as I get in touch with him, I'll say go to Quest.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll touch base with you on the Saul meeting.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Slaughter.
Yes, Judge. If the court would allow it, Mr. Hernandez's mother is in the hallway and would like to address the court on his behalf.
I'm happy to do it.
Yes, Judge.
If you want to bring her up, I'm happy to do it. Let me give her my little.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Could we just to avoid creating a viral moment here?
And again?
Just to avoid creating a viral moment here, would it be okay to from the wife?
Good morning, Your Honor. May I approach?
Please.
Your Honor, I'm here on a plea this morning for Jose Traon.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, Your
Do
Honor.
you mind bringing them up? Good morning, Mr. Traconis. You speak English, right?
Yes.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand that this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. The next time you get pulled over, you smell like alcohol or dope. An officer's going to see this DWI. It's probably not going to go well for you. So don't give him the ammunition. Don't get into a car, even if you've had a sip. Do you understand?
I understand.
Bring up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization, you give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, there's no change in this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes,
How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty?
guilty.
Mr. Traconis, I want you to understand that from now on, what we're doing today, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail from now on if you ever pick up another DWI, not to mention a $6,000 surcharge that tax on you. And if you don't pay it every day or every $100 you owe, you sit 1 day in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to suspend your license for 90 days. Do not drive until you get a license. Good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, just if I may mention, I just wanted to notify the court that we will be applying for
Occupational? Okay. Sure. Okay, I understand that you're going to have to, when you apply for an occupational license, you will have to do treatment. So, you know, what we normally do is we have you do a TRAS, and then whatever the TRAS says is what you end up doing, and you have to get an interlock. So I don't know whether probation is something that you want, where I don't suspend your license, or whether you just want to do this, because you're going to undergo basically probation-esque terms regardless, if we give you an occupation. So, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, good luck. What does he do for a living? What do you do for a living?
Look, data voice technician.
What kind of money do you make a month?
Right now, I'm not looking at it, but, I want to say, no, I don't need to check my chest first. But,
So are you working or you're not working?
right now, I was working in production. Not at this moment, but, we just finished the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, your project, and when's the next project start?
Hopefully by the May 6th.
Okay, and then how much money do you make a month when those projects start
I
back
would
up?
say about 1,000 a month. No,
Okay.
wait, not 1,000 a month, 1,000 a week, my bad, I'm sorry. Back in math.
You win. Yeah.
He's back after his test.
What's it again?
Joe Torres, it's off Docket.
Okay. Roxanne,
Yes, Judge, there was something held in the THC. All right, how is?
what was your call number again, Sarah?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. I'm sorry. This is on my phones.
Have the cause number handy, Roxanne?
Okay.
5099942.
Yes, 38-year-old. I served as officer.
So I'm gonna give him another couple weeks. He's not, I hope he's not using, let him
No,
know.
he's not. My understanding is that he's been sober for like a little over a month, but he was a chronic user before, and so it's still just the remaining. Well, we've applied for PTI mitigation, like we've applied for the PTI. It's just we've not heard back.
Okay. I'm gonna set it for another couple weeks, like 3 weeks. If he tests positive.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, so around the 50th, 55th day, we'll reset it to.
Can you like ask for an amount or like a specific, like the percentage or, I mean, I don't know.
No, he's just not supposed, he's supposed to be clean.
I understand that, but based on the information that I have, was like he was a chronic user for years and he's recently stopped. So my concern is that like it's not long enough to get it
So
all out of the
let's see what the,
system.
send it to the lab now so we can get levels. And then we'll see the next time and see what the levels are.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, sir. Have fun. Hi, Eric.
Excuse me. Good morning, Judge. I have Guevara, first name Evans.
Okay.
She paid the DA fee this morning. She is getting the portable device and today.
Okay. Okay.
So I have, today's Thursday, I know y'all don't do Friday, but that's
Monday. Okay, sure. Okay, hi, Mr. Cohen.
Hello, how you doing, sir?
Good morning.
How you doing? I'm here on Mr. Jesse Espinoza. We're gonna do a PTI on him. We just got the restitution form today.
Oh, so old. Has everything been turned in? State on Espinoza?
Take a look on Espinoza here. So the PTI contract was sent, and the restitution invoice was sent over, but as defense said, it was today that it was done.
That you got, that you sent it, I guess.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How much is the restitution amount? And then do you guys want it all up front or do you pay as you go? Hey Blaze, with restitution on a DWI PTI, is it all up front or is it installments?
No, it's not.
What's
It has to be paid by the termination of the contract.
Okay, great. All right, we'll send you off a week for you to get everything done. Okay? The case is 250 days old.
I got you.
So let them know they've got a week to get everything done.
No problem. I'm sure.
Okay? Got it.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Nice seeing you.
You too. Okay, hi. Hi.
I have Mr. Martinez Naranjo on docket.
In custody or on bond?
He's on bond.
Okay.
We just got a new offer for time served at the videos. I have 911.
Need more time?
Yes, Judge, I have to provide proof of his, the DDS 214, because he's a veteran, but ineligible for veteran court.
Is he on deferred?
He's not on deferred.
There was a deferred, but I guess maybe it's terminated. Okay. So you're at 176 days. You want a week or two?
Yes, Judge.
That, he's got to be here. So
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge. And so we're hoping that he'll take the offer by the next time he comes in to provide that proof. Right, thank you. May I be excused? Thank you.
Hi. Hey, what's new? It's Friday Eve, man.
Yeah, got a plea.
Come to me, Serenity. Okay. Oh, you do? Okay.
Bianca Lopez, she's in custody,
Guys, do you mind? Bianca Lopez, please. Oh, okay, yeah. And then you want to sign now, we can get you to sign.
He already signed.
He did? Got it. Okay. Laura, you want to talk to me?
Yes, I have a plea on Mr. Addison.
Okay, I guess you want to bring them both? Addison and Lopez. Oh, wait, one's a lady though. Can they do that?
They come out here together.
Nathan, you want to talk?
Sure.
We're waiting on people. Well,
Is this Ms. Gooch's client?
no.
Is she Maxine?
No, Miss Lopez, man.
She was shoes.
Come on, Trey.
This one will take long. This one will take long.
Did we do a TRAS on this?
Yeah.
What did the TRAS say? Lopez. Page 44. We did do a TRAS. I mean, it doesn't even matter though, really, because she's got the delivery case upstairs. So anything that we wanted to do, it's.
It said, the recommendation was school aid.
Hopefully they address it upstairs. We just can't because of the open case. Ma'am, you were charged with prostitution. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 51 days in jail with credit for the 17 days that you have done. You need to understand that this is going on your record and it's going to be there for the rest of your life. You need to understand that if you continue to pick these up, at some point they can hit you with a felony and you're looking at years instead of days. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. There's no changing this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the office, ma'am?
Guilty.
If I find you guilty, I'm going to follow the agreement. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
You know, I just want to discuss it robustly. Robustly, we're gonna have a robust discussion. What? Yeah.
Why does this keep happening? Over and over and over. Why does this keep happening? How many cases did you have last year, Mr. Addison?
I have quite a few, sir.
Now it pled on the 17th of December, and not 3 weeks later, you have now another criminal trespass. How do we stop this from happening?
You gonna need to leave Texas?
No, we don't want you to leave Texas. But we want this to stop happening. Why would I keep doing this?
Officers don't like me out there, man. They be harassing me. They beat me up. They assaulted me. They put me in the hospital. They tried to kill me.
So why go back?
What do you mean?
Why go back to the same location over and over if you know that they're gonna beat you up?
I'm of the state of Texas, not just this area. The state of Texas, the laws don't like me. The police don't like me, sir.
That's baloney because you're a likable guy. We all like you, Mr. Addison. You seem like a stand-up guy, get nice, but you keep going back. Why would I keep doing this? You know, we hit you with the time served, we let you out, 2 weeks later you pick up a new case. And it's been like that for the last damn year. Where's your family? Who do you have in your life?
I don't have nobody in my life, sir. All my family is dead. My twin just died not too long ago.
You ain't got no kids?
But they grown, yeah, but I can't find them.
Why not?
Because their mother hid them from me.
You ever tried to find them?
Yes,
How?
through the internet. Through the internet, sir.
I don't know, Lori. We're doing the same shots over and over and over. And last year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cases just last year. You pled at the end of December. January, you got a new case. We let you out. You took off on us 2 more times. And the only reason we have you now is because you picked up an interference. And now we're doing the same thing over. I'm not going to do this. I'm done, Mr. Addison. I'm not going to continue to do this. Plead you to the time served in hopes that you're going to go out there and not do it. No, it's not going to happen. We need to figure something else out. Thank you. That's very sweet. But I'm not going to do this. We need to do what I'm going to do now, what's called a TRAS, to see how we go forward. Because I don't know enough about you and what's going on in your life to figure out how we go forward so you stop picking up criminal cases. I told you that many moons ago that I'm going to stop doing this. And now is the time. I'm not doing it, Ms. Addison. We will set this case for a TRAS. I'm going to try to expedite to get it done as fast as we can. I'm done. What I'd like to do, and the hope is that somehow you, me, and Lori can figure out what kind of family you have in the United States so that we can get you somewhere where you stop getting in trouble. But it's not working what we're doing. And I'm not going to continue to, this is not a revolving door. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
That's what we're going to do. So Lori, I'm sorry, but let's set it for a TRAS and we'll come back next week. Do you mind expediting it? It's obviously, Friday is just too soon, but perhaps maybe Monday we can get the TRAS done? Yeah. Thanks. All right. Mr. Beadle.
I've got 2 matters that I need to address the court with. One is not on docket today. It's Emma Lynch. She's still waiting. She's not in Hue yet. Like, I'm wondering if you could maybe make a call to the appropriate entity and say there was some sort of issue going on with the bond situation that kind of.
Let me do this. Toria's not here today.
I know.
Is she gonna be back tomorrow? Do you know? Is Toria back tomorrow?
But I did bring it up with this young lady. I'm sorry.
I know, but let me,
She's great. She's great. So she's aware.
I get it. Let me wait.
Saying that she's gonna be here unless she wants to show.
Okay, great. Can we talk about it tomorrow?
Sure, I'll come by tomorrow.
Then we'll see what we can do to try to expedite.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
The other one is on the docket today, and I think the chief is aware of it. It's Bill Jones. He's on the docket today. His appearance was waived.
Oh, okay.
He, yeah, he's great. He went into inpatient and he's out now, and I talked to him yesterday. He sounds amazing.
You have a device?
Yes, he still has the leg bracelet, et cetera. He's doing great.
All right.
So we're at the point now because we applied for PTI on him because he had a 38-year-old DWI. And they're apparently think that that's close enough in time, even though he's been to inpatient treatment, et cetera, to not give it to him.
Telling you that I've seen more denials now.
I know. I am well aware. I get told that everywhere I go. So we're at the point where I have asked the state for a time served offer as well as, but Judge, it's a 38-year-old. Okay, and a probation offer. But the reality is that we're probably going to try this case, but I would like all the offers on the table that I can go over everything with him, go over the videos with him, and him make an educated decision on what he wants to do exactly.
Offer whatever you want to offer. It doesn't matter to me what you're going to offer.
I honestly don't think a time serves in a pro because he's done inpatient. Probation's not going to give him more tools that he doesn't already have.
I disagree with you. I think
So-
it does. It will because it keeps them under the nose. He knows that he has someone watching over him at all times, so he can't just, go out there and do whatever he wants to do.
But the next thing is a felony anyway if he does it.
Do we want him to graduate to a felony?
I don't think he's going to be back. We've got a 38-year gap between arrests. 38 years from now, the man will be 104 probably. Do you know what I mean? I just don't see him coming back based upon his experience this time. He's at a completely different stage now, which I'm happy to say.
Time heals all wounds.
So all I'm asking for is a pretrial motion setting rather than set it for trial so that the chief and I can discuss.
Are we definitely going to set it?
I need to know what the offers are on the table for us to really go over it with them.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it.
You guys know me. We've been friends long enough.
Dude, I just want to make sure you're aware the case is getting a little long too.
It is. It's 177.
But
So
we are
we'll give
getting-
you, I don't know, you want 2-3 weeks and then
That'll
come
be
back and let us know.
That'll be.
Okay.
Judge.
Hunter.
Hey, Judge, here on Perkins. So I got an email yesterday. Apparently, she never had the application sent in. I've sent the mitigation, but they didn't have the application. That's been sent in today. I had her fill it out, send it in. So there we are. I don't know if we want to go ahead and preemptively set the TRAS.
No.
Okay.
Because we're seeing more denials than ever. Is there an accident in this case?
There is.
How high is the test?
0.153 to 0.157.
Okay, major or minor?
Major crash.
I don't know. I wouldn't. So let's set it a
She's
week.
young with no criminal history, so.
None of that. It's, I think the circumstances now are what ride, I don't know. So, let's set it off a week, see what they can get it done in a week and we'll come back.
It should be done at this point, finally, Judge. It's like one of those cases that's just snake bit.
Hunter, if there's no decision in a week, I'll waive.
Okay.
But if there's a decision, then she needs to be here and then we'll send her for TRAS if yes, if no, then
Because I was gonna have her not come today, but I needed her to fill out the app, so.
set if it didn't get.
Yeah. Thank you, Judge.
Craig. Mr. Stewart. You good?
I'm waiting on a date, Your Honor.
He wants you to see his back where the police bruised him up and beat him up.
Why do you keep going back? You know
says that
that you're gonna get a big, you know when you go, it's not gonna end well, but yet you're going. It's like the forbidden apple, I guess, right? I'm not gonna,
I understand. I just had to relay the message.
yeah, tell him that more so, why do you go back?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, enough's enough, really, it's just.
What about? Oh, he talked with counsel outside. I told him to send him back. Garcia? No, he was waived. His felony set for 519.
Yeah, you don't have to ask, just come.
Let me go ahead and go out.
Okay.
So.
She on docket today?
No, she was on docket on Monday, but she wasn't up here, but they did bring her up. I'm not sure what happened.
What's the cost number?
It is, 256,
Talk to the clerk to put the motion.
2087.
I don't remember talking about her. She's on bond for a murder case? She picked up an assault?
Yes.
Wow.
So the issue with that is that the magistrate.
Tell me they gave her a PR. Tell me that she got a PR bond.
Got a, correct?
Yeah.
And, there's an interference with the curfew time. I was wondering. Yeah.
Hold on a second, hold on a second.
The 20th? Got it. Is he good to go back?
Hey, we have a problem. Can I give you a cause number?
Yes, I have so much to go back. What is it?
256-2087. She's on bond for murder, picks up an assault, makes a surety bond, and they give her a 30-day reset.
I see the bond paperwork says 502.
Look at the next setting. Next setting says 529.
That must be like a clerical error, like in, when they take the bonds and.
Can we fix it right now so that,
Yes,
Trey, can you please, because I want her here tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll address conditions tomorrow. Yeah.
all right, Judge, we have an arraignment that showed up while we were,
Okay.
page 15. Heron, come on up. It's an arraignment, we need PC.
Yeah.
For Heron, Herron.
Thank you, Mr. Torrey.
Good morning, is it Heron?
It's Heron.
Heron? Ms. Heron, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. This one was a 2B. On September 28th, 2024, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to a family disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The caller reported she observed the couple arguing in a truck, children crying, and heard a loud bang as if someone got struck in the head. The law enforcement officer observed the truck with one functioning headlight, matching the description that was given him regarding the truck. The law enforcement officer observed a juvenile outside of the truck with red puffy eyes. The law enforcement officer made contact with defendant 1, Miss Heron, and defendant 2. The defendant stated there was no altercation or arguments that occurred, and that the law enforcement officer was talking to the wrong people and that they were okay. The law enforcement observed an odor of marijuana. The defendant's vehicle was sitting outside of a random residence at night, and the defendant stated the vehicle belonged to a friend.
Which defendant? Who?
I just said the defendant stated the vehicle belonged to a friend, and then there's defendant 1, which is referring to Miss Heron for the next sentence. Miss Heron refused to ID herself and stated she was going inside of the house. The law enforcement officer told defendant 1, Miss Heron, to stay put until the conclusion of the domestic violence investigation. Defendant 2 exited the vehicle, stated, "No, I am not," when advised, and he was detained and pulled up his pants before getting in a bladed stance. The law enforcement officer grabbed the defendant 2's right wrist. Defendant 2 pulled away. The law enforcement officer grabbed defendant 2's shirt, telling him to stop as they fell to the ground. The defendant one, Miss Heron, pulled the law enforcement officer's arm and pushed the law enforcement officer's chest, preventing the law enforcement officer from restraining defendant two. The law enforcement officer took out an electrical conducted weapon, told defendant one to get out of the way, Miss Heron, and defendant one continued to refuse and push law enforcement officer's chest. Miss Heron ID'd herself with her name and date of birth, which was confirmed with the Texas driver's license.
Ms. Heron, don't. Now's not the time. You know, I've got a bunch of DAs here. Whatever you say, they're going to use it against you. You will have the opportunity to fight your case, just now's not the time. I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
I don't.
Okay, we can have you fill out an application. I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, how much money you make, what kind of job you have, and then we'll take a look to see whether you qualify. I see that the co-defendant in this case has a valid warrant for his arrest. I think that there's still a warrant open for his arrest. Also on a felony warrant as well. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the co-defendant in this case. Do you understand? If you do, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand? Okay. So Deputy Miranda is going to give you an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign and reset, and then we'll have you take your seat in the jury box while you fill it out. Okay? Please. Can you file? Hey, if you can file no contact with the co-defendant, please.
Yes, sir.
Thanks. Okay. Gilbert, you ready?
Hi, Judge.
Hey, what's new, man?
You should have a motion in your queue. It's a motion to substitute on Basilio Garcia. I should be finishing this felony case in about 2 weeks, and then
Are you in trial now?
this case should go away.
In trial now? What are you talking about? I should finish this felony case. Oh, for this guy?
Yes.
Oh,
He's on probation, another court is about to take time on it, and I think they're gonna file a motion to dismiss on it upstairs. But either way, we'll work the case down here.
he's, is he here today?
No. Just saying, we're bringing him in 2 days after he pleads. Next time we're in felony court.
Yeah, it's not an old case. I'll sign it and whatever you want. Do you want the same day as a felony?
No, 2 days later is fine, so that way we can find out where we're at.
Whatever you need.
Thank you, Judge. Good seeing you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you.
So